Like I often do after the legislative sessions, I put together some data and I looked at 2023 bill introductions and members, plus some of their committee assignments. So in the California Legislature, both the Senate and the Assembly have a limit on the number of bills that can be introduced by their respective members for every 2-year session. And I looked through all the bill introductions during the 2023 California legislative session to determine the average number of bills introduced during this first year of the 23-24 session, along with the lowest and highest numbers of introduced bills this year. I also put together the applicable House rules and what constitutes a bill. The other piece of this little research project I did for the 2023 session was looking at committee assignments for both state senators and state assembly members, again, to determine the average number of committees that each legislator sits on, as well as the lowest and highest numbers of those assignments. So first on the bill introductions, Senate Rule 22.5 is titled Bill Introduction Limitation. And it says that a member of the Senate may introduce or subsequently author not more than 40 bills in the regular session, and that this rule may be suspended with respect to a particular bill by approval of the Committee on Rules. And finally, that the rule does not apply to a constitutional amendment, any type of resolution, or a bill introduced by a committee. So what did the data show? The average number of bill introductions in the 2023 California legislative session among those 40 senators was 19. The lowest number was 6, introduced by Senator Atkins. The high was 32 by Senator Portantino. Turning to the Assembly, Assembly Rule 49 is titled Limitation on the Introduction of Bills. It says that a member may introduce not more than 50 bills in the regular session, and that the definition of a bill includes a constitutional amendment, but does not include concurrent or joint resolutions. So that is a difference between the Assembly and Senate limitations. It also provides under Assembly Rule 49 that the rule may be suspended with respect to a particular bill by approval of the Committee on Rules. So what's the data for the Assembly? The average number of bill introductions in the 2023 California legislative session among those 80 Assembly members was 22. The low was 0 by Assemblymember Rendon, while the high was 153 by Assemblymember Ting. But this includes about 125 budget trailer bills that are introduced by him. Otherwise, the high was 32 by Assemblymember Flora. I also thought it was interesting to review the 22 Senate standing committees as well as the 33 Assembly standing committees and their composition, and to count through the number of committee assignments for each state senator and each state assembly member that they held during the 2023 session. So for senators and the number of committee assignments, the average number of committee assignments during the 2023 California legislative session among the 40 senators was 5. The low was 1 by Senator Atkins. The high was 8 by Senators Nguyen and Sayarto. In addition, Senators Grove, Ochoa, Bogue, and Wahab each had 7 committee assignments. Turning to the Assembly side, the average number of committee assignments during the 2023 California legislative session among the 80 Assembly members was 5. The low was 0 by Assembly members Gallagher and Rendon. The high was 7 by Assemblymember Mathis. So again, this data was on bill introductions and committee assignments for members of the California State Legislature.